welcome to yet another episode of the Economic Times Cutting Chai Conversations, a series of videos with CXOs over chai or coffee, if that's your preference, where we talk about their lives, hobbies, interests, and touch upon various other topics. The urgency and pressure on CXOs as they navigate the COVID-19 pandemic has been immense. They have been constantly monitoring myriad ways to ensure that their respective companies stay on course in the new normal. The incredible demands placed on them makes us often wonder how they have time for family, hobbies, or any personal downtime. And let's not forget that they are mere mortals. This initiative is aimed to create a deeper connection with them and to get a sense of what CXOs of several prominent companies like to do when they are not in CXO mode. Today, I have the pleasure of engaging with Mr. Rajat Paul, Head of IT, IFB Industries Limited. Rajat, welcome to Cutting Chai Stories.
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to have this interaction.
Okay, great. So it's been about 13 months since we had the lockdown in 2020. So could you, going back to 2020, could you just tell us about two or three things you did during the lockdown that you had never ever done before the lockdown came into force?
Surely, it's a very interesting question. With COVID, there has been a completely different perspective on personal areas and personal aspects and how you see life. So one of it, like I can certainly recall, I being a foodie, uh, the way the COVID started, and then slowly the work pressure suddenly went up, and then
Mhm.
we were looking of how we relax and how we can spend some more time, etc. So from a foodie's perspective, I started trying out new dishes, new menus which I have never even thought about. For example, I was, trying out sushis, and then the Danish open sandwiches, which are called smørrebrøds. So this kind of menus, which I typically love and eat outside when visiting some other countries. I have been trying those kind of things by myself, buying those equipments to make them happen. So it was something very new. And for example, movies, I was not so much of a movie guy or watch more of movies, etc. But then during this time, I started, watching various movies more often, like once or twice in a week. And then your YouTube travel channels. That was also very interesting. I subscribed to various channels, and they were really interesting. So these were something very new in terms of which has never happened before COVID, and
Okay.
I got into it.
Okay, so that's what you did during the lockdown that you had never done before. Wonderful. So let's rewind a little, Rajat. If you were to go back to the early years of your childhood, school, or later college, was there anybody who influenced you in those formative years? And what ambitions did you have then as a young boy, teenager growing up? Could you take us through your journey briefly?
Surely. Yeah, one of the defining factor in my life at that point of time, early childhood formative years, has been definitely my mother. She had at different times which were tough as well as happy times, taught me how to navigate with changed circumstances, and encouraged always for learning through
Okay.
books, various books, and various journals and all that. At very early age, she handed over all of them, and then later, when I was in my college days, I got very good companionship from my chartered accountancy friends, like my colleagues who were doing articleship with me. They were very competitive, and there was a very healthy competition between us, and those kind of competition and the strive to do more with less at that point of time had really encouraged me, to get the best at that point of time. And I had the ambition, incidentally, of being a guy from a financial sector. Being I was studying in for this chartered accountancy, and wanted to get the topper position in the chartered accountancy, etc. And then get into more of investment banking. And then career took me to some other way during the course of this
Okay.
early formative years. So it
Right.
has been very interesting and uh, very uh, different at different points of time, and it has navigated me through uh, various spheres which I have never thought about. But I it came at there was a lot of curiosity in me which came at the early age, and that helped me to navigate through this period and start the later part of my career.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. You're a leader in your field as the head of IT. So let me ask you this. What, according to you, are essential leadership qualities?
Good question. So, I would say there is no one single defining factor. There is a set of factors which keep on playing uh, as a leadership quality. And the good thing is, you have already many people who have excelled, and so much you can learn from them. So,
Hmm.
uh, it's from a qualitative perspective, I would rank empathy as one of the key leadership factor. You
Okay.
give space, and you give you trust your people who are around you. They can do it for you. Only intervene at critical points as it comes, maybe not always. And that empathy would create a spatial bonding, and it's like you are a part of the team, and you are leading by example. So that is one something which I think is important. The other uh, is agility. Like life, as I was saying, takes various turns, and during the turns, you really can't predict how it happens, what it happens, as an event or as an opportunity, etc. When as a leader you are going through this. So basically, you have to
Yes.
handle the difficult situations uh, with equanimity, so with composure, and always there should be a belief like it's something which is possible. Whatever we do, we need to have that confidence to drive the outcomes. Other than that, I think deep learning, we hear this word in technology a lot, deep learning, which is like you constantly learn, uh, keep
Right.
learning, keep unlearning, and it's a very dynamic space on a regular basis. Every day when you go at night, you should be already fulfilling yourself with some new learnings during the day. So I think that's an important factor which helps to be in a knowledge driven leadership areas.
Sure.
And also multitasking is one more area linked to this. You have to be multitasking. I have learned this from my wife, who is quite a multitasker. So yeah, that's also something a leader should have.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn from our spouses, especially women. Trust me, during the lockdown, the kind of learnings and I've had from my wife, having been married for 13 years, in the last 12 months, I never had those learnings before. So,
True.
yeah, yeah. Rajat, what are your long-term personal goals?
Yeah, from a personal goals perspective, I believe I have been always exposed to multicultural environments in my early life, and one of the key things which I have been influenced by is like the Danish way of life. They call it
Okay.
huga, which is like a very cozy and happy feeling.
How do you spell it?
It's Hygge. In Danish, it's pronounced as hygge.
Okay.
So it's basically a happiness within a close family circle with small things. So
Hmm.
I would say personal. I won't say that as a goal, but that's what will make me happy. Like something as a goal which I want to achieve is make myself and my family happy, keep my uh, teach my children the kind of education through which they can live a happy life. And I'm an avid traveler, so maybe a personal goal is like get lost in long trips into
Okay.
wilderness, like
Okay.
Antarctica or South America kind of thing. So that's also a personal goal for me. And I take a lot of interest in mental health, studying on mental
Okay.
health and all that. So maybe, and in a longer term, if I can do something for the mental health of people through some education or blogs or some way, I haven't thought too much about it, but that would be something really fulfilling for me as a
That's
person.
wonderful. That's wonderful. And I wish you all the best. I'm sure you'll achieve your goals, if you set your mind to it. Wonderful to hear that.
Sure.
Uh, how have you invested in yourself to equip yourself better and incrementally improve in the professional and personal space?
Yeah, so yeah, in terms of that, the learning is the best equipment, which I believe. And as I was saying earlier, it's good that you have multiple leaders surrounded by you, and from them you can learn a lot of things incrementally every day. Apart from that, from the skill sets which fulfill your learning and enhance it, I would say two tools are very important in today's life. One is a lot of these digital courses, very professional, top professional institute like MIT, Harvard, and Stanford, etc. Now these are all quite accessible. So I keep on,
Yeah.
registering to new courses. Yes, sometimes I complete it fully. Sometimes it's not fully, but the learning which I carry from them, these short term courses and all that, it's amazing. It gives a lot of fulfillment in terms of you are empowered with a lot of knowledge which was not there, and that's a continuous exercise. Maybe every month, every 2 months, you start registering for something and then do a course curriculum and follow them, etc. Apart from that, books on there are fantastic books on behavioral science, customer experiences, technology, design thinking. So I keep on I'm a very avid reader of this kind of books which are going into deep on the subject, and I keep on doing them very frequently. So these are two external channels which help me equip myself better.
Wonderful. Good to hear that. Okay, Rajat, with that, we'll move into a segment which is the one word, one line answer. Uh, I'll throw some questions at you, fun questions, and kindly respond in one word or one line. Sometimes I might ask you to respond in about 3 words. So, are you ready for this segment?
Yes, please. Sure.
Okay. Uh, so, Rajat, what's your favorite meal?
Sushi.
Okay. Uh, which social media platform you use most frequently?
You will be amazed. I use SMS, which is the texting platform, if I may call it as a social media.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So still SMS, huh?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Which is your favorite holiday destination? I know we've not been able to travel probably during this time, but all-time favorite holiday destination?
Yeah. So For me, it's one. My next target is Antarctica and the Aurora Australis, which is the Southern Lights. So I'm longing to do that trip.
Wonderful, wonderful. What is one hobby or interest you are passionate about? You talked about traveling, so that doesn't qualify as an answer now. Besides that,
It's like this discovering food. New food destinations.
I should
I
have said
would
no
not say
travel,
this
no
as a
food.
travel. If you categorize this as a travel, then something like a chess is very
Okay,
interesting.
okay, wonderful. What's the most courageous thing you have ever done?
Uh, this paragliding from 2000 feet, we went to this southern part of France, where I did
Okay,
it. I have a height phobia. Still, I did it.
amazing, wonderful. Your head IT. So
Yes,
I'm
yes.
going to ask you, if you could hack into one person's computer, whose computer would that be?
Sundar Pichai.
Wonderful, wonderful. Uh, Rajat, name a book that has influenced or inspired you.
Uh, the Catalyst from Jonah Baga. So this is a recent book. I mean, you keep on reading new books, and the new one inspires. So the Catalyst from Jonah Baga is one recent one.
Okay, okay. If your name were a logo, what would its tagline be?
Curiosity,
Sorry,
curiosity.
curiosity. Okay. Ah, Rajat, Paul, curiosity. Okay, interesting. What's a quality or trait that you admire most in people?
Honesty,
Okay. Which three words best describe you?
love, doing things.
Okay, love doing things. What food have you never eaten but would really like to try someday?
Some South American dishes.
Okay. Super strength or invisibility? What would you choose if you had the option of choosing one of these powers? Super strength or invisibility?
Invisibility.
Okay. What is one thing that annoys you the most?
Uh, Annoys actually. uh, it's heat.
Heat, heat.
Yes,
Ah,
heat.
okay,
Heat, maybe a conversational heat or a weather heat.
okay. Very interesting. If you were a fruit, which fruit would that be?
Apple.
Apple. Okay, wonderful. Are your friends completely opposite to you, or are most of them similar to you?
Similar.
Okay. Which three people, living or dead, would you like to have a cutting chai conversation with?
My mother, my wife, and my mentor.
Okay. Uh, which outdoor activity haven't you tried but would like to?
It's like deep sea scuba diving.
Ah, wonderful. And the last question for this segment, uh, complete this sentence. I'm going to start it. Kindly complete it. Life is incomplete without.
Family.
Wonderful. Rajat, I had a great time chatting with you. Uh, I hope you enjoyed this cutting chai conversation. And I wish you All the best going forward.